Hello and welcome back to Happy Seniors Life, where every moment after 60 is a moment to grow wiser, stronger, and more mindful. I'm Dr. Thomas, and today I want to speak from the heart. Let me ask you something. Have you ever woken up, checked your phone, skipped breakfast, rushed into chores, and by 9 a.m. already felt dizzy, foggy, or strangely tired? If you're over 60, I want you to know what you do in those first 90 minutes after waking up is not just routine. It's your most important medicine. This morning window quietly decides how well your brain gets oxygen, how steady your blood pressure stays, and whether your heart begins the day in peace or panic. And here's the truth. No one told us when we were younger. Many strokes, many fainting episodes, many sudden drops in energy. Don't start with pain. They start with habits. Habits we never questioned. And today, we're going to take a closer look at those habits one by one. To do this, I'm honored, truly honored, to be joined again by one of the most remarkable physicians of our time. He's over 100 years old, still walking every morning, still teaching, still caring for patients. He's the author of more than 200 papers on elderly care and the mind behind Japan's longest living wellness strategy. Please welcome back Dr. Shigeaki Hinohara. And before we dive in, if you've ever felt a little unstable in the morning, lightheaded, forgetful, or simply not yourself, leave a comment below with the number 1. If you haven't, drop a 0. I read every comment. I care. And I want this space to be a place where you're not just listening, you're being heard. Let's begin. Mistake 1, waking up without water. Dr. Thomas. Let's start with something incredibly simple and yet deeply overlooked. The first morning mistake that raises your risk of stroke quietly, especially after age 60, is this waking up and not drinking water. Not even a few sips, just coffee. Or worse, nothing. And I know this sounds small, but it's not. Dr. Hinohara. In my early 70s, I had a patient, a retired carpenter. He was healthy, strong, and walked 2 miles every morning. One day, he fainted right after getting out of bed. No heart attack, no stroke. But his blood pressure had dropped sharply. And the reason he hadn't drunk any water in more than 12 hours. He'd eaten salty food the night before. Then woke up, skipped hydration, and drank a large coffee. That's not just dehydration. That's a setup for brain fog, falls, or worse. Dr. Thomas. The science backs that up. A 2022 study published in the American Journal of Medicine found that older adults who begin their day dehydrated are 30% more likely to experience dizzy spells and poor blood flow to the brain. When we sleep, we lose water through breathing, even if we don't sweat. Our blood becomes thicker. Our vessels become slightly more rigid. Our kidneys slow down overnight. By morning, your body is thirsty even if you don't feel it. Dr. Hinohara. And yet most people say, I'm not thirsty in the morning. But thirst is not always the signal. Routine is. This is why I've taught my patients for decades, within the first 10 minutes of waking, drink at least 6 to 8 ounces of room temperature water. That's just about 1 small glass. It's gentle. It activates your digestion. It wakes your brain softly. And if you add a pinch of sea salt or a squeeze of lemon, you also support the liver, balance electrolytes, and ease your blood pressure. Dr. Thomas cold water can actually be a shock to your vagus nerve. It spikes cortisol and does more harm than good. That's why room temperature or warm water is the wiser choice. You see, our bodies don't need big changes. They need steady ones. And that starts with a glass of water. Dr. Hinohara. This habit is so small, but so powerful because water doesn't just hydrate the body. It tells your heart you are safe. It tells your blood vessels you can open now. It tells your brain you can begin. Dr. Yi Thomas. So, if you've been waking up and skipping water, don't feel bad, but don't ignore it either. Try this tomorrow morning. And if you're already doing it, tell us in the comments, because your habits might help someone else live longer. Mistake 2, standing up too fast. Dr. Thomas, let me ask you something personal. How do you get out of bed in the morning? Do you roll over gently, take a breath, sit up slowly, or do you sit up, swing your legs off the side, and push yourself up quickly without thinking? If you're over 60, that second way could be quietly harming your brain. Dr. Inohara. In Japan, we have a saying, the body wakes before the mind catches up. It means the moment your eyes open does not mean your brain and heart are ready for action, especially after age 60. The nervous system takes longer to adjust. Blood pools in the lower body while sleeping. Your vessels are relaxed. Your blood pressure is at its lowest. So when you jump up too fast, gravity pulls that blood downward. And for a few seconds, your brain might not get enough oxygen. Dr. Thomas, that's when we see it. The head rush, the dizziness, that few seconds of the room spinning, and some people ignore it. I just got up too fast, they say. But here's the thing. If you do it every day, your arteries start to suffer. Micro damage builds up in the vessels leading to the brain. That's how small habits become silent risks. Dr. Hinohara. I remember one patient, a 68-year-old woman who fainted twice in a week. No stroke, no heart disease. Just a habit of standing too fast. Once, she fell and broke her wrist, all because no one had taught her to slow down. Dr. Thomas. There's a name for this. It's called orthostatic hypotension. It simply means your blood pressure drops when you stand up too quickly. And after 60, it becomes more common because your nervous system isn't as fast at adjusting. That doesn't mean you're weak. It means you need to be wise. Dr. Hinohara. Here's what I teach before rising. Pause. Roll to your side. Take 2 deep breaths. Sit up. Place your feet on the floor. Wait 10 seconds. Then rise gently. This simple sequence allows your blood to adjust. It gives your brain a chance to catch up. Dr. Thomas. It's not about moving less. It's about moving with respect for your body's rhythm. So if you've ever felt wobbly in the morning, try this tomorrow. Just slow down for 1 minute. That 1 minute might protect you for years. And if this reminder helps you, share it with someone you love, because stroke prevention doesn't start with pills. It starts with how you rise. Mistake 3, checking your phone right after waking up. Dr. Thomas, here's a habit most of us never even question anymore. Or you wake up, roll over, and reach for your phone. Notifications, emails, news alerts, weather updates. Your brain goes from calm to chaos in 5 seconds flat. But after age 60, that spike in stimulation can quietly disturb your brain's blood flow, your heart rate, and your entire sense of balance. Dr. Hinohara. I once had a patient, a retired librarian in her early 70s. She had perfect memory, read every day, and loved her quiet life. But 1 month, she started having trouble focusing in the mornings. She felt jittery. Her heart would race. At first, we thought it was blood sugar, but it wasn't. It turned out she had developed a new habit. Every morning, the moment she opened her eyes, she opened her phone, reading emails, watching headlines, responding to messages from her children overseas. Her nervous system was flooded. No time to adjust. Dr. Thomas, that's more common than we think. A 2023 study from the University of California, San Francisco showed that people over 60 who engage with digital screens within 5 minutes of waking had higher resting cortisol levels for the next 3 hours. That's not just stress, that's a shift in your entire hormonal state. Cortisol tightens your vessels, raises blood pressure, shrinks your ability to concentrate, and over time, it wears down the delicate vascular system that supports brain oxygen. Dr. Hinohara, in Japan, we teach something different. Let the body speak first and before your eyes meet the screen. Let your breath move. Let your muscles stretch. Let sunlight touch your skin. Then only then invite the outside world in. Dr. Thomas, it's not about avoiding technology. It's about protecting your transition from sleep to wake. Because your brain isn't just waking up, it's recalibrating. It's restoring blood flow, regulating temperature, balancing hormones, clearing out the brain fog of the night. The first few minutes are sacred. Dr. Hinohara. So here's what I teach my patients. When you wake up, take 1 full minute before touching your phone. Use that minute for breath, for stillness, for intention. Place a note on your nightstand if you need to. It might say, breathe first, phone later. Dr. Thomas. And if you're wondering whether this tiny change really matters, it does. It changes how your blood moves. It changes how your nervous system responds to the world, and it can change how you feel not just for one morning, but for the rest of your life. So tomorrow morning, pause before you reach. Let your own body be the first message you answer. Mistake 4. Skipping breakfast or just coffee. Dr. Thomas. Now let's talk about something I see almost every day in my clinic. A patient comes in, they look tired, mentally foggy, a little anxious, and when I ask, "What did you have for breakfast?" they say, "Oh, just coffee." Or worse, nothing. That might sound normal to some, but after age 60, skipping breakfast is not harmless. It's a serious risk. Dr. Hinohara, I often say this, your brain needs fuel to feel calm. When you sleep, your glucose levels drop naturally. That's part of the rest cycle. But if you wake up, drink coffee, and put nothing else in your body, you activate your stress hormones, cortisol and adrenaline, without any nourishment to balance them. The result, vessel constriction, blood pressure rises, mental clarity drops. Dr. Thomas. It becomes a recipe for brain fatigue and vascular strain, and there's science behind this. A study published in JAMA Neurology in 2021 showed that older adults who skip breakfast regularly have a 25% higher risk of developing small vessel disease in the brain, which is a major risk factor for cognitive decline and stroke. Let me repeat that. 25% higher risk. Just because of how you begin your day, Dr. Hinohara. I remember a man in his late 60s, retired teacher. He had been skipping breakfast for years. He said he wasn't hungry in the morning, but he would crash by 10, shaky hands, mood swings, lightheadedness. After we introduced just a soft-boiled egg and a little rice porridge into his morning routine, everything changed. More energy, more focus, less anxiety. Dr. Thomas. That's the power of simple nourishment. And no, it doesn't have to be a big meal. It just needs to be gentle, warm, and balanced. Something that tells your body, you are safe, you are supported. Dr. Hinohara. Here are a few ideas: a boiled egg with half an avocado, warm oats with a sprinkle of nuts, rice porridge with a soft cooked fish, or even a mineral-rich broth, And if you truly can't eat right away, start with a warm oat drink or a gentle herbal tea with honey and a pinch of salt. Let your body ease into digestion. Dr. Thomas coffee on an empty stomach might feel like energy, but it's actually a panic. It spikes your nervous system. It tightens your arteries. And it doesn't nourish your brain. So please don't start your day with tension. Start with support. And if you're already practicing a gentle morning meal, share your favorite one in the comments. Your habit might help someone else reclaim their energy. Mistake 5, rushing into chores, exercise, or a hot shower right after waking. Dr. Thomas, let me take you to a familiar scene. You wake up, you're barely out of bed, and your mind already jumps to your to-do list. You start making the bed, maybe lifting laundry, walking up and down stairs, or heading straight into morning stretches or a hot shower. It sounds productive, healthy, even. But for someone over 60, this go, go, go mindset first thing in the morning might be hurting you more than helping. Dr. Hinohara, in my years of treating older adults in Japan, I've noticed one pattern over and over. The ones who live the longest, with sharp minds and strong legs into their 90s and beyond, have one thing in common. They start their mornings softly. They don't rush into movement. They don't shock their system. They invite their body to wake up gently, with respect. Dr. Thomas, that matters, especially because our circulation after sleep is slow. Our heart is still in rest mode. Our blood pressure is naturally low. And when we go from rest to movement too fast, especially sudden physical activity, our body has to react quickly. The heart rate spikes. Blood vessels tighten. Breathing becomes shallow. And this sudden internal shift can trigger dizziness, shortness of breath, even falls. Dr. Inohara Yao. I remember a case, a 72-year-old gentleman who loved staying active. He would jump out of bed and immediately begin sweeping his patio, carrying heavy planters, or doing yard work. One morning, he felt a wave of nausea. He bent down to lift a chair and suddenly collapsed. No heart attack, but his blood pressure had swung too quickly. His vessels weren't ready. That was his body's way of saying slow down. Dr. Thomas, and it's not just about physical safety. This kind of stress can impact your nervous system for hours. A study from the Cleveland Clinic in 2021 found that older adults who engaged in intense morning activity within the first 30 minutes of waking were 40% more likely to report mid-morning fatigue and concentration issues. Why? Because their body was burning adrenaline instead of building stability. Dr. Inohara. In Japanese medicine, we view the morning as a sacred transition from yin to yang, from stillness to activity. That bridge needs time. We often teach our patients a short awakening ritual. Not exercise, not a workout, just a movement that whispers, "We're awake now. Let's begin." Dr. Thomas. That's beautiful. What does that look like in practice? Dr. Hinohara. I usually recommend this. Sit at the edge of the bed, circle your ankles. Roll your shoulders gently. Breathe in through the nose. Exhale through the mouth. Place your hand on your chest and say, "I am here." Then, slowly stand and walk just 5 steps. That's enough to bring blood to the brain, regulate the heartbeat, and let the inner organs prepare for the day. Dr. Thomas. So instead of diving into chores or grabbing weights, you're tuning in first. You're asking your body, "Are you ready?" That's such a powerful shift because it replaces urgency with attention. Dr. Hinohara. Yes, And if you want to shower in the morning, which many do, that's fine. But never go straight from bed to hot water. A hot shower can cause sudden vasodilation, especially dangerous if your blood pressure is already unstable. Instead, sit upright, walk a little, drink water, stretch your spine. Wait at least 15 to 20 minutes before stepping into heat. Let the heart adapt. Dr. Thomas, I know that goes against what many people were taught. Start strong, hit the day hard, but for those of us in our 60s, 70s, and beyond, strength doesn't come from force. It comes from rhythm, from listening. Dr. Hinohara, that's how you stay strong. The rush we feel in the morning is not the truth, it's a habit. And every habit can be retrained. Start tomorrow with softness. That 5-minute ritual might protect you from 5 years of suffering. Dr. Thomas, and if you've ever felt faint, short of breath, or shaky after doing chores, first thing, please don't ignore that. It's not just aging. It might be your body's request for a gentler rhythm. So take it seriously and kindly. And if this helped you, write in the comments, I will begin gently. That small commitment can inspire someone else to slow down and live longer. Dr. Thomas, let's pause for a moment. My friend, if you've made it this far, I want to thank you, not just for listening, but for caring, for choosing to be present with your body, for choosing to protect your brain, your heart, your mornings. Because here's the quiet truth. Most people miss. Longevity isn't built in hospitals, it's built in habit. And the 5 habits we've talked about today, they may seem small, but they shape everything. The blood reaches your brain, the pressure inside your arteries, the rhythm of your heart, the energy you carry into the day. Dr. Hinohara, in my 105 years on this earth, I've learned one thing over and over: what you repeat becomes your reality. A rushed morning becomes a rushed life. A calm morning becomes a healing life. And even if you've been doing these 5 mistakes for decades, you can start again tomorrow with one breath, with one glass of warm water, with one gentle moment of stillness before the noise begins. Dr. Thomas, yes. And if you are wondering where to begin, choose one. Just one. Not all 5. Pick the one that speaks to you most. Maybe it's not checking your phone. Maybe it's drinking waters. Maybe it's just pausing before you stand. Whatever it is, make that your new anchor. Let it become your gift to your future self. Because after 60, we don't chase youth. We cultivate wisdom. And wisdom means slowing down before the world speeds us up. Dr. Hinohara, every good day begins with one good morning. And every good morning begins with awareness, not perfection, not control, just presence and compassion for your own body. Dr. Thomas, so let me ask you now, what is one thing you will begin doing differently tomorrow morning? Leave it in the comments. Say it aloud. Make it real. And if this conversation touched your heart, send it to someone you care about, a parent, a friend, a neighbor who rushes out the door without breakfast, because the people we love deserve to live long and live well. Dr. Hinohara. And if I may leave you with one final line, write this down, place it near your bedside. Read it every morning for the next week. It says, begin soft and you end strong. That's not just a mantra. It's a truth I've lived with for more than a century, and it can become yours too. Dr. Thomas, your health, your brain, your balance, they all begin before 9 a.m. Take back that time, honor it, shape it, and let it shape you in return. This is Dr. Thomas, Dr. Hinohara and Dr. Shigeaki Hinohara, wishing you a soft beginning and a strong, joyful life.